Progress.
Okay, I'm gonna. All right, so welcome to the new assistant recorded version of, what to do first and how to strategically get to being effective quickly without getting too frustrated. Because that's what happens so often when we're new associates. We call a couple of people and they say, no, I don't think this is for me. Or we say we don't know enough people to make that list of 100 people. And yesterday I learned a really great approach overcoming the list issue. And that is by realizing that we can go with the love approach. So who would you call if you were in a situation stranded by the roadside? Who would come and help you? Who was make a note of that. Literally make a note of that. Who would be the person you would call if you were stranded by the roadside? Or if you had an emergency issue? Who would be the person? Let me just admit. Okay. Somebody's coming in on their iPhone. Hi. Welcome. Who just joined us? I don't see your name. Be so kind, give us your name. Unmute yourself for a minute.
Oh, sure. Tiffany.
Hey, Tiffany! Because we're seeing our faces for the first time, right?
Yes.
Yay! So great to meet you. Awesome. Okay, so the strategy is the love approach for making the list goes like this. Ask yourself, who would I call if I was stranded by the roadside? Write that name down. Who's the person I last helped out because they needed help? It could be a neighbor that I went over to help out with carrying something, or it could be anybody who would be the person that called you the last time they had a problem and they needed your advice, right? Those are all people that go on your list, that are people that you have helped, that are people you have received help from, and who understand that sometimes in our life we need help. We need to call other people to be the person that gets help as well. So we're not always yes, we're leaders because we are associates now, so we're in the leadership position, but we can remember, and we still continuously will need help from other people. So write those names down of people who have been helpful to you. And then go through your family and friends and allow yourself to say, well, as a kid, who was my favorite uncle? And who of those is still around that I have a connection with? And add those people to the list. So it's the approach of whom we love and who loves us in our life that we start with. And why would we call them? Why would we bother them? You might think. Because we put ourselves into the situation that we don't feel like we're bothering, but we're offering them the opportunity to get help when they need it. And it's a kind of help that we maybe not often allow ourselves to get, and that would be legal help from experienced attorneys. Now, does that always mean that they can resolve all our problems? Probably not. I mean, in many situations, we cannot resolve everything that goes wrong in our life, but we get a little bit more help here and a little bit more help there, and we find a new strategy, and that's what Legal Shield does for us. It does give us the opportunity to discuss with yet another mind who has the legal expertise, who can look up stuff for us that we wouldn't have as easy a time to find out. Now, Carlene is one who has found out a lot of legal stuff by herself. So I just want to give Carlene some kudos here because she has done so much research in the legal arena that she can sometimes tell her lawyers what to do, which is not wrong, but still the letterhead on the letter that needs to be sent to somebody often matters, or it most often matters. You know, I was just speaking to another woman with three kids with disabilities who's being evicted, and her husband died from a heart failure, just recently. And, those are the situations where you say, yeah, I'm so glad I can provide that help. So that's the next thing to think about. Who do I know who I know needs help? Wait, this is Jennifer. So that's the love approach list. Because remember, the advice is always, the first thing as a new associate you should make is make a list of people you know, with whose phone numbers you know, or whose social media connections you know. I don't do much social media lately. Some of us don't, and that's okay. But there are other people in your life who you can start with, and then. Yeah, Tiffany, who's not with us yet. Jennifer, can you just say hello?
Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I'm not feeling so well.
Well, I'm grateful you're on, and thank you for being on anyway. We can't see your pretty face. That's okay. But at least you can hear a little bit of what we're discussing. We're discussing the easiest approaches to getting started as a associate. Now, Kayla, who is for some reason also not here yet, she wanted to be here, she told me yesterday, has made it within the first 20 days to get her fast start done and get the extra bonus, which means you find one person who becomes an associate and two people who become members, and you complete your training. Now, the Fast Start training you find on your own LS Engage page. So I'm going to show you, but yeah, first I wanted to let you know what you can do with your membership and what you can tell people that they can do with their membership. So I'm going to share my screen because that is, of course, the most important part is, well, now I'm a member, or now you're becoming a member. What are all the different things you don't even think about that you can do with your membership? So I have prepared for myself an email that I can share with all of you where I show different videos and pages to show people what they can do with their membership. So I'm going to give you that because I don't know, I always reinvent the wheel. I'm sure it exists somewhere in Legal Shield, but here it is. So I'm going to have to put this down, sharing. Okay, so here is the email. I think it's probably too small, but I can read it to you. You know, it starts out with whether you've just spoken to a member. It was great talking to you. These are, of course, people like how I met most of you, who I met through actual leads. And I wanted to get this out to you quickly. And it should really say, and it says in the subject line, what you can do with your membership. So let's start with getting everything set up in case you have not received this. You should receive this really from headquarters, but I give it to people again, and I'm going to show you what's in that. No, this is not what I'm wanting to show you. Top 10 reasons I need Legal Shield right now. Oh, my lighting is going off. There you go. It's another screen. So People all over North America, that's the airplane and refunds, it's almost like not valid anymore now, but evictions are still on the rise, and help with rent during the pandemic is ending, and legal advice can help you what other avenues you have. I just advised several people last night and today that they can fill out the hardship form that they didn't know about, etc. So your attorneys will know what else our people who need that kind of help can do with the membership. Then, of course, everybody gets to prepare their will and their living will or their medical will, in which you provide the exact description of how you want to be treated or not treated if you're ever hospitalized or if you're ever unconscious or in a car accident and so forth. So that's an important package that comes with the membership. And of course, as any kind of business owner, which you now all are, all associates in a way are small business owners, like a DBA, doing business as, and you can build that into a real business, even with employees, etc., which is what I do as well. So, and as businesses, we always need legal advice for contracts and agreements and how to hire and fire and or not, and how to prepare our taxes, what to declare as what. Yes, then we also need a CPA to actually file the taxes for us if you're like me and don't want to do it yourself. So all of that our attorneys help with as well. Then we have the traffic ticket issue here. It's called assistance with moving traffic violations. It sounds so much more cumbersome than, yeah, I got a traffic ticket, But yes, so all traffic tickets can be immediately uploaded via the phone app to our law firms, and the law firm will try to get the ticket dismissed or mitigated, meaning that you pay only a portion of it and you can pay it online or don't have to go to court and that kind of thing, and definitely they will always change the ticket so that you don't get points. All right. Then, of course, any kind of home sales or rental agreements or leases of any kind, car leases, etc., all of those contracts you can show to your attorneys and make sure that they're in your favor and that there's nothing snuck in there that has you buy a lemon as is and there are absolutely no insurances on it. I get that a lot too, that people call in for help, for legal help, who have purchased this car, sometimes for as much as $12,000, and it breaks down a couple of days into, or a couple of hours into them having it. And in the purchase agreement, it says, as is, and then you're stuck with that vehicle. There's still things that our lawyers will do, appealing or demanding from the seller, which often are dealers even, to rectify the situation, to either provide a functioning vehicle or to return the monies paid. So there's still things we do, even though the law is not very favorable to the buyer of a used vehicle when it is purchased as is. So that's actually a very important part too in our lives. All right. So warranty assistance, also very important when you buy a phone and it's not functioning. I just bought a new printer. In fact, I'm going to have to take it back today because you know what it did? In the middle of the night, it started spitting out 50 pages of program language gibberish. I have no idea, where it's coming from, and it won't print anything I sent to it. So, luckily, I think today is the last day of the warranty. I didn't take the extra warranty, which I probably should have. So, and there it is. So if I need to, I'll use our lawyers to fix that situation because it's not a cheap, I used to buy these cheap printers, and this one I thought, okay, I'll buy a good one this time. It's gone crazy on me. So those are the situations where it will help a lot to get that letter written by the attorneys to the seller to rectify the situation. Yeah, what we do at Legal Shield is that we actually resolve our attorneys, of course, I'm saying we know, I'm trying to be part of the whole thing. We resolve 85% of our issues outside of court. So when we do have to go to court, we better have the trial defense supplement so that we get time of an attorney to accompany us and time of an attorney to do more of the document review, the due diligence. So that's another important part. And of course,
jump off. Bye.
Say that again.
I have to jump off. I have a meeting at 1:30.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much. I'll watch the video.
Okay, I will get it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. Lots of love.
Bye, thanks.
Bye. So, and then number 9 here is when you do want to grow your business into a bigger one, you will actually create a business name for yourself, for your Legal Shield business. I know one of our people on our team has created, I think she picked you like your legal gal, something silly like that. So, and she goes to chambers of commerce meetings, etc., and basically talks to businesses and she has become the go-to person when people have legal questions and how do they get affordable legal care. And then she gives them the business plans to sign up for Legal Shield to get that. So that's another avenue to go as an associate. And she is now doing Legal Shield full time, is making upwards of $10,000 a month. So that's, that's a nice business to have. Okay, so then there is the Identity Shield protection and online money protection, fraud protection that comes with Identity Shield, ID Shield protection. That's number 10 here. And many people are now trading in cryptocurrency and are hoping to make a lot of money, and that doesn't always go right. And sometimes you have to know what you're dealing with. So you want an expert on cryptocurrencies from your Legal Shield firm to help you out with how to deal with that. All right. Now we can move to will preparation. How long is this? I think it is just 2 minutes, so I can play this.
These people are living the dream from the enviable comfort of their designated work areas. But if something unfortunate were to occur and they didn't have a will, do you know what would happen? What? Well, deciding what would happen to their bank accounts, their real estate, their little tiny bobblehead thingy collections, it would all be distributed according to the laws of their state or province.
What? Are you kidding me? What's happening now? That's unfair.
No, it's extremely unfair. Your assets at the mercy of some cold, unfeeling statutory formula?
That sounds horrible.
It is. That's why will preparation is of the utmost importance. And it's easy, because will preparation by a lawyer is part of your Legal Shield membership. The Prepare Your Will questionnaire in the mobile app will help you figure out what's important to you.
I figured no need to spend money on a will. I'll just write it out and stick it in the fire safe.
Oh yeah, that'll work. Because kids always agree on everything. Plus, like I said, it's included in the monthly membership.
Right now, it's just me and the cats. I need to be clear. What should happen if I'm not able to make my own healthcare decisions?
Well, that could be covered by a living will and a healthcare power of attorney. And the will would take care of the cats. Yes. Can I get a pull?
Took care of my will years ago, but I probably need to get it updated again. My folk vinyl collection cannot end up in the wrong hands.
Well, Legal Shield can review and update your will yearly if you like.
Really?
What would happen to my Instagram and all my followers?
Start with the Prepare Your Will questionnaire in the Legal Shield mobile app. Your information will be sent directly to a lawyer to prepare your will. Simple. And you won't have to leave what's most important to you in the hands of bureaucrats.
Actually, I had never seen that. It's a little over the top, but it's funny. So yeah, but what I get a lot is that families are fighting over the remains, are falsifying signatures on deeds for houses because grandpa died and they want that house, even though there's no will and there's no right that they would normally have. So they make up signatures and make up all sorts of things to bring some kind of evidence that they get it and not the brother, sister, whatever, whoever else would be more eligible, right? So I get a lot of that. Estate and probate issues are like the biggest fights that family have, it seems to me. You know, of course, there's divorce and custody, but then even bigger seems to be the inheritance questions. Who gets what? You know, I was supposed to get the truck. He always said, I'm going to get the truck. You know, well, where's it in writing? Now it goes to the girlfriend who, because she just took it. You know, the girlfriend of the father, whose daughter, in that case, this is a real story, you know, was supposed to get the truck. And it just goes on and on and on like that. And houses and trucks and photographs and books. And I had one lady who found in the chair that was particularly given to her, it was an armchair. And months later, after this lady was deceased, she put her hand into the side pocket of that armchair and pulled out 2 bank account receipts, jointly $900,000, that this lady was giving her in this chair, but because she was not demonstrating it in a will, so now she's fighting to claim those bank accounts because all she has is that finding, right? And the verbal, you know, I want you to have this chair, nobody else is going to get the chair. You know, and the person deceased was feeling like, oh, that's going to be such a wonderful surprise, you know, when she finds all that money that she inherits or she gets, right? And now the fight starts. Now the attorney who did the estate administration seems to have absconded with those bank accounts. So in any case, those are the stories. So it's always interesting also and good to have some such stories because it's real. I mean, my sisters weren't talking to me for a couple of years because my parents decided that I should inherit the house because I was the one interested in everything in it and I was the one there. So, but, you know, and it was not to be sold and it took forever, but it was decided legally by attorneys with my parents still alive. So it was a living will. We want, when we pass, we want this and this to happen this way. So wills go so many different ways. You don't write your will in anticipation of dying. You write your will in anticipation of keeping everybody as happy as is possible once you're no longer around, or even once you are around, but there is, but maybe you are not in a position to make decisions, or maybe you are living in a home, or, you know, all the situations that old people have these days. which are not commendable, but that's the reality. The reality is that families start fighting, and will preparation is a really, really important part. So if there's any way you can have in your mind the vision, how that will help. And of course, the first thing that I always recommend that everybody does is sit down and get your own will done. What happens, how that works practically is like this. Your law firm sends you the forms to fill in where you write what you want, how, as far as you can know and decide. And then you discuss with the attorneys what else needs to go in there, or what other things are not covered in the form. And then it is formalized, and then you get it back again to verify that everything is the way you like it. And then it gets the stamp of the legal document of the law firm, and then it becomes legal. And then you can every year, like they were saying in the video as well, go back and amend it. So that's a really important part. So there's one more thing that is in that email and that I wanted to put in this webinar, and that is, oh, I'm using the mouse for the other computer to try and do this. And of course, Tiffany, if we're working with, and who else is Jennifer? I don't know. No, Jennifer was not working with leads. When working with leads, you get all these situations where people, for the most part, where people are poor and not able to afford much. So with a little bit of investment, it goes a long way to get their life in order. And then, of course, there's the offer, well, would you like to join us and share what we have with others so that others can also benefit, and so that my team expands and we can work together. All right, so I wanted to show you I think the last thing that I have in there is if you ever decide to join us as an associate. Which one was this? One moment. Oh, this is the ID Shield protection that most of you don't have, but for some people it's really important, especially people who work a lot online and have various bank accounts like myself. I definitely needed the identity protection because I have had fraud on my bank accounts. And what's possible with Legal Shield identity protection is that, I wish I had it when I had the fraud, that we put your money back into your account when money has been stolen immediately, up to $1 million, like any of us have $1 million lying around in our bank account, but it's just good to know. So, but I had a few thousand because I was running my food business, and suddenly there was zero. From one day to the next, I was out of the country. My son was running the show as a very young adult, and Mom, what do we do? There's no money in the bank, and the bank won't give it back, and it's fraud, and they say it's none of their fault, and so forth. So we had to run around and borrow money from everybody to pay our bills and stay in business. And it took over 2 months for the bank to give back the money, because it was actually somebody in the bank that stole the money. So those things will happen. That's what Identity Shield is good for. Had I had Legal Shield, the money would have been back in the bank the day after, or 2 days. If it was on a weekend, it takes sometimes longer. But that's what would have happened, and I would have been able to operate. And they would have found probably the perpetrator, the theft, the thief, earlier, and would have been able to close out the whole situation faster. But those are the situations that you find yourself in as a business owner. And of course, the more money you make with Legal Shield, the more of that applies to you, because you'll just have more money in the bank to get stolen because you have to have it. You start operating on a different level. All right, so that's that. And here are the member perks. Yeah, and I think I told every one of you that I don't really use the member perks, even though I could. So for example, I have Verizon and I've never really claimed my member perks, but I think I get 20% off or something crazy like that. It's quite a bit of money, so I should actually do that. And there's many places that, and it always gets updated. You're able to see the latest in your back office, in your membership office. So that is, here you see cell phones, electronics, finance, flowers and gifts, certain food places. I know at Costco, we get 20% or 25% even, which is also quite insane. Health and wellness, home services, insurance and protection, office and business. I don't know whether we have a discount at Staples or somewhere else. Oh, I guess it was Office Max, but they don't exist anymore. Office Depot still exists. Real estate and moving services. I just moved. I didn't try that either. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm not using any of this stuff. It's so bad. But yeah, you can save a lot of money on all these things using the member perks. Then here, even movie tickets. Now that we can go to movies again, and so many other things, restaurants, etc., some restaurant chains. So yeah, those are the perks. And here we're back at the letter. What did I forget? Oh, I forgot no, I did do this video. If you have any questions, what was this? Oh, this is actually the very first thing that members should do, how to activate your memberships. Activating your membership. So actually, this is the very first thing in that email. Now, I'm going to share that email with all of you so that you can forward it to your new members and have that at the ready. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to ask if you have any questions. Yeah. Tiffany, you were going to ask something?
No, not at the moment. Oh, wait, hold on. The trip that you were talking about? Arizona, I think.
Yes, going to the Phoenix convention.
Mm-hmm.
To the convention in Phoenix, Arizona. I would love to have you with me there. We still have VIP tickets for $59, and then I'm happy to help you with finding a very affordable flight. I'll even participate in you. Kayla is also coming from the New People, and possibly Shelly also, who's not able to be here because she's at work. What are the dates?
Yeah.
It starts for some of us on the 30th. So I'm flying very early in the morning on the 30th, I think at 6 o'clock out of Newark, out of New York, because where are you flying from, Tiffany? Where are you? I forgot in which.
Kansas City, Missouri.
Missouri?
Yes.
Okay, you're breaking up. Okay. Yeah, so, but that's almost the same thing in terms of distance.
Yes, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, KCI.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now you would, and then there is the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd is when the main conference is. The 30th is there's a gala, and I can invite one person to the gala in the evening for senior directors and up. And I always think it would be so nice for people to see the glam, that we do when people get higher up in the ranks. I'm personally not much triggered by the glam because I've had a lot of glam in my early life as an actor and, being in movies and stuff. So, but it's, of course, it's a beautiful thing that you get to do these things. So yeah, if that's interesting for you to be part of the glam, I can even bring a guest to the gala. But yeah, and then the gala is, I think, on Thursday night, and then the 1st is Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when the main event is, with all the speakers and workshops and trainings as to, how to do it. So you'll get a lot more of what I've just been trying to do, but from people who are just really, really good at training. Triff, have you already seen anybody do some training talk like Jackie Cote or Darnell Self? No?
Yes.
You have? Good.
Yes.
Aren't they the coolest? I mean, I'm always so like, all right, I guess I got stuff to learn.
Yes.
They're awesome. So yeah, they will be there, but also, of course, the CEO, Jeff Bell. I just saw a really interesting interview that Jeff Bell did with a civil rights attorney. And he was saying that we're moving in the direction of wanting to help more people with civil rights and abusive behavior of the police and so forth issues. So I was really pleased about that, because those are things that are like really close to my heart, like the social justice angle of everything. And so that's also why I take leads that are those kind of offenses, police brutality, etc. Many people don't want to deal with that because, they think the lawyers, and some of our lawyers will not be easily on that track because they're trained to just look for the money. There's not much money in those cases, but that's not what we're about. And I thought that was really interesting that our sort of always a little bit too glammy CEO, Jeff Bell, actually had that interview with the civil rights attorney and made those claims that we're working in that direction. So I was very pleased with that. And I want to actually talk to people about giving people this is another thing that I want to bring up at the convention. I want to bring up how important it is to give people a positive first experience with our attorneys. So that we need to remind all of our 8,000 attorneys that it is of utmost importance to give new members a good first experience, whether they come with a dire situation right away or whether they have been members for a couple of years, never needed it, but now suddenly they do need it and it's their first experience. When it's their first experience, it matters. I mean, we always talk about the first experience in whatever it is, sex and life, but it is just as important to get that good first experience. And that's also why I sometimes say to my members, well, if you feel you're not treated right by your attorneys, call me back and I'll call the attorneys together with you and I'll make sure that they treat you as they should. I've had people elderly people who've had very little education and were not very well spoken, and they just said, they don't treat me right. And then I call together with them and I claim what they need to get for them. Make sense? So those are the things that I'm interested in. Oh, you froze, Tiffany. Really interesting. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, Jennifer, do you have a question? I can't hear you. You need to unmute yourself.
I'm sorry. No, ma'am.
I'm so sorry that you're not feeling well. Lots of love to you.
Thank you.
So I always say, eat all the fruits and veggies you can. Go get some sunshine, some fresh air.
I think it's my sinuses. I have one of them sinuses headaches, and it's sitting in my eye.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the light in your eye hurts.
I know.
Yeah. So take my advice. Get the fruits and veggies. Don't eat any dairy and any meat for a few days, and it will clear up faster. I speak from experience. I used to have sinusitis, laryngitis, bronchitis, all the itises, ear infections, all the time. It was terrible as a kid and as a young woman. And then I was a singer and actor. I couldn't afford to be sick. So, but I didn't know what was causing it, and I didn't know how to get better. So now I know.
Yeah, that's my thing, because I'm taking medicine for it, but it's not working. So
no, it just makes you drowsy, right?
yeah, it makes me don't want to do anything.
Yeah, yeah. So that's my advice to you. Treat yourself to the best fresh food, and get a lot of rest. Stay away from the stuff that aggravates the inflammation. Take it from me. I have a African trainer now who's training me. At 68, I'm more fit than I was when I was your age.
Oh, wow.
So we can do it. I wish I'd known then. All right, everybody, if nobody has any more questions, so what I wanted to accomplish today is the love approach. Make the list. Don't forget, make the list. Even if you also take leads, make the list of people that you would like to offer the help, and you can just send them. You can send them also the email that I'm sending you guys, or one or two of those items, and just tell them, just look at this, or one or two of these things, and see if you need any of that. If you really feel you don't want anything to do with it, just know that I care for you enough that I want you to have this in case you do need it. So that's the love approach for those people in your life that you make the list of. Everybody has some kind of a list, as they were saying yesterday. Even if you put your favorite doctor on there, or your favorite grocery store, or whoever you might know in your neighborhood, everybody has some kind of a list. So make that list, and then study what you can do with your membership, and know that you can offer all of that. And for Tiffany to come to the convention, let's communicate separately. Let's see how we can get you in there. Like I said, I have my ticket. Maybe we can get you the same kind of schedule, or I'm actually looking to share. When I go to conventions, and I've gone to quite a lot, I actually have this habit of sharing with other women in a hotel room, because you make new friends, and it's less money, right? So why have a whole big hotel room with 2 double beds for yourself when you could share and meet new people and make friends, right? So that's how I operate often. So that too we can do. And then, it would be great to arrive. And of course, we get to hang out with Jackie and Liana and all our immediate team, and even Darnell Self and the larger Team New Vision. All right, Jennifer, if that's of interest to you when you're feeling better too, just give me a call and we can still arrange that.
Nah, I don't think I'll be able to attend the conference
Okay.
as I have younger children,
Yes.
stuff like that. So
Mhm.
you know my situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked about that too because Kayla also has young children and not necessarily, you know, a grandma to take care of them while she's out of town. So it is possible to bring children, but then, and sometimes that works because other moms who also bring their children then hook up with you and, you know, there's joint childcare, but it takes more preparation, more arranging ahead of time. So next time we're going to bring you.
Yeah. Next time. Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Very cool. So Tiffany has arrived.
Yes.
Yes. And we'll talk later. Yeah. Good. Then I'll thank you all, and I hope this was helpful and useful. I'm sending you that email with all the different things that you can do with your membership, which is what you can share with people to see what interests them, what can be helpful to them when they join your team or your membership group. All right. Ciao, everybody.
Okay. Bye.
Let's power this. Bye.
Bye.